everybody. Happy Friday. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Lymph Lounge, the conversational podcast about cultivating a state of flow in our bodies and in our lives. A lounge is actually a public room in which you can sit and relax, and this is what we do here in the Lymph Lounge. So sit back and relax because today we are chatting about collagen and the viral TikTok collagen sheet mask that inspired this topic, the two camps when it comes to aging, and how to maintain sustained energy throughout the day. If you are brand new, just a quick introduction. I'm Genevieve Albert Mowini. I'm a retired facialist turned lymph naturopath a few years ago. Now, I am a traditional naturopath, which means I help support the body's innate ability to heal itself through various environmental and lifestyle changes. I specialize in helping women alleviate lymph congestion so they can regenerate faster and reverse aging naturally without going to extreme measures. Talking about extremes, let's dive into this week's featured topic. So for this week's feature, I'm sharing with you my commentary on a viral collagen sheet mask I have seen a few weeks ago. And before we dive into this podcast is available on Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify podcast platforms, as well as my own website, lymphinitiatives.com, in the form of a blog post for each episode, and also on YouTube if you are a visual person like me. I don't know how common that is, but I love to watch my podcasts on YouTube if they are available there, and I will usually have it play in the background on the TV while I'm cooking. And so if you like to watch podcasts, please know that you're not alone, and you can find me also on YouTube. Now, this week's featured topic, the Friday feature, is a trend in the dermal sciences department, the collagen sheet mask that went viral on TikTok a couple weeks ago. From what I can tell, the original company is called Song of Skin. Of course, many companies have copied this mask. When something goes viral or goes popular, all the companies rush to try to copy that product. But from what I can see, the original mask is Sungboon Editor Deep Collagen Sheet Mask from Song of Skin. Now, it is a Korean skincare product. So Korean skincare became popular in the Western Hemisphere over on this side in the mid-2010 that I can tell. I really felt the trend around 2018 here as a facialist back then. So I looked at the ingredients, and the mask itself claims to have collagen at 2,160,000 parts per billion ppb, which is extremely, extremely low molecular size, which means it can go really, really deep into the layers of the skin. So I looked at the ingredient list, and yes, in fact, there is collagen in the list at the very top, and they're not lying about that. And there are also multiple skin hydrators as well, which is good news, such as glycerin, Irish moss, panthenol, GAGs, glycosaminoglycans, which is a very good hydrator, phytosphingosine. It also has ceramides, cholesterol, niacinamide. So a very well-rounded list of ingredients and a lot of hydrating ingredients. So yes, this mask is very hydrating, but what I want to discuss in this episode is why that's not always a good thing. And just a note on collagen. Collagen is a full protein. It does not convert to collagen in the skin when you apply a collagen product. So it does not stimulate collagen or provide collagen to the skin, but it is a great hydrator. And if you are ever wondering internally, what's the difference? Well, when you take collagen internally, the research is quite spotty on this actually, but from my perspective, collagen is built from three main amino acids, so proline, glycine, and hydroxyproline. So collagen itself can't be absorbed by your body in its whole form. So what your body has to do is break down the collagen proteins you eat into amino acids and then rebuild the collagen that way using the amino acids. So eating collagen-rich foods doesn't directly result in higher collagen levels in your body. If your body has inflammation or stress, breaking down that collagen that you ingest is just one more job it has to do. And that may not be ideal for everyone in that situation. As long as you have a diet that can support collagen production, which means rich in foods that contain proline and glycine, as well as vitamin C, zinc, and copper that are also needed for the process of making collagen. So, as long as you don't have imbalances or aspects of your health that create imbalances or prevent absorption, and your diet is rich in those collagen building materials, there is really no need for a collagen supplement or even collagen skincare, unless you're looking at it from a hydrating perspective and you don't have too many hydrators already in your regimen. So, if we go back to the sheet mask I was talking about, one of the things Korean skincare is big on is called glass skin, the glass skin effect, which seems to be the goal here with this specific sheet mask. But what you need to remember is that glass skin is over moisturized skin. It is so moisturized that it is swelled up to the point where your pores become squished and don't even show anymore. Everything is squished and everything is smooth like the surface of an inflated balloon. And this effect is temporary and will create a rebound effect. Yes, it will. I've seen it times and times again where your skin will be super dry because this type of overhydration sends a message to your skin to stop pulling water from the deeper layers of the skin. It's telling your skin, hey, we have enough here. You don't need to hydrate from the bottom anymore. So when the effects of the mask wear off, you're left with a skin that hasn't been hydrated from the inside. So it's important to keep the balance in this delicate hydration system in the skin that comes from the body and not to interfere too much. Otherwise, whatever you do, whether it's that mask or something else, if you over moisturize, you will end up with skin that's more dry once the product wears off, and it then becomes a vicious circle. So products like these and the idea of glass skin in general creates this unrealistic idea of what ideal skin should look like. A very unattainable and unhealthy goal, and dare I say, very stressful for the skin and for the body. Now for the thought of the week or weekly thoughts segment, I'd like to discuss the idea of there seems to be two camps I'm noticing when it comes to aging. Now, in the past few years, I've noticed there has been this talk about pro-aging as a response to the anti-aging trend of the last few decades. All we've been hearing last few decades is anti-aging. You can't age. It's not good to age. So then I think in a response to that over the years, there has been this growing trend of pro-aging. So the idea of pro-aging trend is to accept the aging process, to embrace aging, as opposed to the anti-aging movement or trend where aging is seen as not okay and that everything has to be done so you don't age. And I would really like to offer another perspective on that today because I have the opportunity to talk about aging with women all the time. And what I'm noticing is that often there is this exact same amount of pressure on one side or another. It doesn't matter which side you're on, there is some sort of pressure. So on one side with the anti-aging movement, there is this pressure to look young. And then on the other side with the pro-aging movement, what I'm noticing is there is this idea that it is wrong to want to do anything to help slow down the aging process. So there is this kind of pressure as opposed to the anti-aging movement where it's like pressure to do something. For the pro-aging movement, I find women seem to be under this pressure to not do anything about aging. It is seen as wrong, that you're supposed to accept your fate and let it happen naturally and you shouldn't do anything about it. And if that's you, if you've also been feeling this pressure in the pro-aging movement, when I left the skincare industry, I was like, yay, no more pressure. But then I go into like the more natural industry, there's still this pressure of what's expected from women. And what I want to offer today is, what about well aging? What about, yes, embracing the aging process, but also being conscious that there are changes in our body and changes in our tissues that are creating those signs of aging, that are making the signs of aging show up or maybe making it worse. And looking at how we can offer support without going to the extreme of, I will do anything so I don't age. It doesn't matter the side effects or the effect on my body. So I want to offer the shift of wanting to do anything we can to support what is going on in the tissues, to improve the health of the tissues, so we can help improve the signs of aging that way. So this is a perspective I offer. And if this perspective of aging feels lighter to you, to focus on improving the signs of aging, but to do so in a supportive way, supporting for your body and supporting for your tissues, looking at what they need. If you're looking to just age well, I invite you to send me a message so we can chat about that more. Now, as the last segment for today, I want to share with you the free resource for this week. If you want your own PDF copy of what we are going to talk about today with a few additional tools, make sure you join the newsletter at lympheinitiatives.com/newsletter. You will have access to not only today's PDF, but also a vault that contains all of the past PDF resources shared since the beginning of the year. So the resource this week is a 3-step process for sustained energy throughout the day. You may find some helpful information in this if you're struggling to sustain your energy levels throughout the day. Over the years, I have found that there are 3 main factors that come into play when we're talking about replenishing your natural energy reserves throughout the day. And those are nutritious diet, some lifestyle adjustments that we're going to discuss today, and of course, herbal support when needed. I can't stress this enough. If your body is deprived of restful sleep, of movement, and of a nourishing diet, then it won't matter how many herbs and supplements you take. You will never feel their full potential. Imagine a 3-legged stool. It simply won't stand without all legs on the ground, right? If there's one leg missing, it'll tip over. So let's start with diet. Modern life is busy. We all know that. And we have access to so many highly processed junk foods and sugar-laced drinks as an easy way to keep us going in this fast-paced world. And it just becomes a habit. But what happens with that is refined foods and added sugars may provide a quick fix in the moment, but in the long run, they will affect our metabolic health. I'm sure I'm not teaching you anything new at this point. And our body's ability to efficiently produce energy will be affected as well. And when we don't have enough energy to function, we become stressed, and that drains us even more. And then we reach out for those things even more, and it just creates this vicious circle, right? And many of us are stuck in it. If we operate from a place that our body is powerful and wants to work with us, like I discussed in the last episode, that we are powerful beings, then we know we have the ability to hop off this wheel at any time if we choose to. And focusing on a supportive diet is one of the keys to unlock increased energy, to reduce inflammation and improve stress regulation, nervous system regulation. Let's not forget that overwhelm and depletion are symptoms that indicate we're not providing our body with the necessary tools to function optimally. But I know that there is so much information out there. It can be so contradicting sometimes, and it can be hard to know where to start. So here's a few ways you can start exploring how to support your energy levels and your metabolism. First things first, wait to have coffee after breakfast. Ideally, at least 1.5 hours after getting up. Waiting to have coffee in the morning gives your body the chance to wake up and regulate the hormones in the morning. Don't have coffee on an empty stomach first time in the morning. It messes up with your hormones and your stomach acid and will impact your body for the rest of the day. If there's one habit that you have that has a potential to shift everything for you, it is a habit of having coffee first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. And I hear it all the time. Women tell me, well, Genevieve, I've been doing this all my life. Well, exactly. Try it and see what happens when you change that habit, because obviously something is not working right now. And if you find it hard, it's a habit to reach out for the coffee in the morning, you can replace your coffee with warm lemon water instead. But I'm telling you, this one change has the potential to change everything for you. The second habit to help keep sustained energy throughout the day is to eat protein at breakfast. Start your day off right with a good protein source at breakfast. Instead of carb-heavy items, opt for eggs or other protein-rich foods. From a Chinese medicine standpoint, this is quite interesting. The stomach and the spleen are the two main organs of digestion. The peak time of the stomach is between 7 and 9 a.m. This is where the nutrients are absorbed to nourish the body for the day. The stomach does that. Then the spleen takes the nutrients and distributes them. And the time for the spleen is between 9 and 11 a.m. So 7 to 9 and 9 to 11. It is therefore advised to eat really well between 7 and 11 a.m. Otherwise, digestive imbalances can certainly occur. And not eating between 7 and 9 a.m. especially can lead to low energy throughout the day because that is when your stomach is actually absorbing everything. So make sure you eat breakfast and make sure you include protein in your breakfast for sustained energy throughout the day. And if you're not hungry when you wake up, so this is another thing that women tell me all the time, I'm not hungry, I don't feel like having breakfast. Start small and then your hunger will gradually increase. I have worked with women where after only one day of having breakfast, their hunger was, kick-started. They started waking up hungry right away. I have worked with women where it takes a little bit longer. Everybody is different, but eventually your hunger will kickstart. Another habit is to walk after meals. So our bodies work hard to process all the food we put in it. And we can help support our bodies after a meal with a simple walk after eating. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 2 minutes, can be 5 minutes, can be 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. Move a little bit. Now, another habit is to keep fruit on hand. Fruits are not the enemy. The fructose and glucose in fruit is essential fuel for our brains. The cycles of stress and busyness can leave us craving sweets. It's normal, but reaching for sweet treats will inevitably lead us to a crash. So try a piece of fruit instead. Always have your favorite fruits handy. These offer as well the added benefits of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants on top of providing fructose and glucose for your body. And one last little tip or little habit is to take bitters before meals. So bitter herbs help improve metabolism by reducing insulin resistance while modulating hunger. So keep a bitter tincture blend handy to start your meal off right. And that also helps stimulate the stomach juices. So now let's move on to the second leg of sustained energy, which is sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep because you're simply a night owl or you choose to stay up late, it's a bit different than if you struggle to fall or stay asleep. Regardless, the tools I will share with you today may be able to help no matter what your reasons are. First, get your dose of sunrise. In the morning when sunlight hits the retina and it suppresses melatonin to help cut out sleepiness. It's a natural process. Direct exposure to sunlight in the morning is thought to increase the brain's release of a hormone called serotonin. Serotonin is associated with boosting mood and helping a person feel calm and focused. Again, the natural light cycle to help work with the time of the day. Studies have found that daylight exposure increases sleep duration, improves sleep quality, and aids in getting to sleep earlier because of the relationship between melatonin and serotonin. So, don't look directly at the sun, but allow the sun to touch your face, your eyes, and your skin. And to help support the natural rise of melatonin at night, that's another advice for sleep, is to stay away from blue light, or at the very least, wear blue light blocking glasses when the sun is starting to go down outside. So your body can naturally follow, again, the natural light cycle, right? The sunlight cycle. I don't have a whole lot additionally for sleep support. Those are my main ones because there are so many internal factors that can affect sleep and it can vary from person to person. But from experience, syncing your body with the natural cycle of light of the sun can work wonders. Then we have the third leg of this three-legged stool for sustained energy. We have herbal support. So for herbs, I usually recommend teas or tinctures. Teas are very much the underdog, if you ask me. But teas or tinctures seem to be the easiest to incorporate for most people. So for stress resilience and mental focus, you can look for burdock, nettle, dandelion. For chronic physical or emotional stress, you have ashwagandha, tulsi, and reishi. And mentally stimulating herbs that help increase mental energy and focus, you have saffron, peppermint, and rosemary. So those would be the top ones. You can find more details in those herbs and also some recipes I added in the free PDF download available in the newsletter this week. So I hope this can be of tremendous help if you are struggling with energy throughout the day. Just remember to look especially at your morning routine, because the afternoon crash usually, very often comes from something that was done either or not done in the morning or the night before. And this is it. This is what I had for you today in the Lymph Lounge. Thank you for hanging out with me here today. Let me know your thoughts on today's topics. Have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you in the next episode.